Hi, I'm Jim Chapman, a developer of the Freda ebook reading app, and in this video I'm just going to talk quickly about how you can customize the settings and controls in the Freda app. So starting here on the app start page, I can, for example, click on the navigation hamburger menu and choose the settings option. That takes me to the settings screen. Alternatively, let's suppose I'm actually reading a book, so I've just clicked on a book here to open it, and I'm now looking at the book page, and you'll see by default it's set up so that there's a settings control bottom left. I can click on that to open the settings page. Another alternative, another way to get to the settings page is via the three dots symbol at the bottom right of the reading page, which opens up all of the control ribbons, and this ribbon has a settings item on it. So I will click on that, and you see there's various kinds of setting: text, layout, reading page, behavior, book processing, screen controls. Keyboard doesn't exist on Android devices because they don't have keyboards. And finally there's the presets item, which I'll come back to in a minute. That works a little differently. But all of these are just groups of settings. So let's take a look at the text settings first by way of example. In this case, we are customizing the color of the text: ink, paper, and link ink. So ink, of course, is the color in which the text appears. At the moment it's white, and paper is the color it appears on top of, so that's black, which is to say at the moment we are displaying books in white print on a black background. Let's say we decided it would be nice to have the text in a red color instead. There we are. That's now changed the ink to red. Worth a quick word next about what's going on, for example, with the font setting here. Now that says book style / Georgia. Georgia is the name of the font, but the word book style here, that's telling us that sometimes EPUB books will actually contain a customized description saying what font you should be using to display any particular piece of text. That's the book style. And if I open this setting, you'll see the way this works is that what this setting at the moment says is use the value provided by the book, or if none is provided, then use Georgia as the font. So if the book provides a font definition, then we'll use the one given by the book. Otherwise, we would use Georgia. Let's say instead I just want to tell it to always use Arial. So I have now changed it. I've set that toggle item so that it says always use the value Arial. So I've now set, you see that control used to say book style / Arial, book style / Georgia. Now it just says Arial. Save those settings and go back to the book, and you'll see that the settings have been applied. Now the ink is red, and no matter what the book might direct, we're always going to display the book text in the Arial font. If I try to return from the settings screen, having made a change but not saved it, I will get, here I am going to click the back button without saving the change. I'm prompted to say, do I want to keep that change or discard it? Let's keep it. So I've now switched the book font to use Georgia instead. So other things that are worth mentioning on this settings screen, as I said, we've got layout, which talks to the way that the text is laid out on the page. Reading page that controls things like how much space there is around the edge of the text, how bright the screen is, whether it's in landscape or portrait mode, how many text columns there are, and so forth. I've got behavior, which sets various things like the user interface language of the app, which would normally be automatic, but you can set that to force it to use a different language if for some reason automatic isn't picking up the setting you want. Scrolling this list down, you can see there's other things I can control. Down the bottom of this behavior tab, there's the option to change the way that the app main page looks. I can, for example, change the background picture. I can change the color, which is green at the moment, or I can switch it to appear light on dark or dark on light. There's also this UI hierarchy control, which is kind of interesting, because for all of the pages of the app, apart from the book reading page, I could have that page appear on a panorama control, or just accessible by the app menu, or on a tab. So I'd recommend you to have an experiment with those controls if you're interested, see how they change the application UI. I suppose the only thing to mention there is, just because of the way that the Windows development environment works, you may actually need to exit and then restart the app to see any changes that you make there. Also on this page is the controls section that allows you to set custom behaviors for taps or clicks on various parts of the page. So you can see at the moment all of these are just set to that little multi-way arrow that says change the page in whatever direction, except at the bottom right is set to a tap on the bottom right hand corner of the page is set to open up the controls ribbons, and a tap on the bottom left is customized to open the settings screen. I'm going to tap on the top left hand corner to go back. So there, return to bookshelf, apply that and go back, keep that setting and wait for the setting to save. And now you see the top left hand corner of the screen has a custom action associated with it, which is go back. I could otherwise get to that go back action by opening the ribbons, and there it is. But now, rather than taking 2 taps to go back, I only take 1. If I click there, it goes back to the main page. The last thing to mention on the settings screen is the presets item. Now, the short story here is that a preset is a bunch of related settings that you can apply together. So the Arial the Arial preset, for example, just switches the font to Arial. The dark setting preset puts us into light text on dark background. Dyslexic changes various things. It changes paragraph layout as well as the font to use a dyslexic friendly font. And you'll see, for example, if I click on the dark preset, it's offering me the option to apply it or to edit it delete it or move it up or down the preset list. Let's edit it, and you'll see at the moment this setting just contains ink, paper and link ink. I'm going to save the current application settings into that preset, which, if you remember, was red ink. So now that dark preset applies red ink. Let me show you what I mean. So here I am opening my book again. And let's pick a different color preset. Let's pick the green preset from the list, and when I select that, I will get a green text display. Now, when I apply that preset called dark, you'll see the dark preset is going to put me back to red ink on a black background. So that was a quick word about how presets and settings work and how settings control the application behavior, the appearance of the text, and so forth. I hope that was helpful, and thank you for watching.